Commander Jiwoo Park looked at the large screen in Earth's Defense Command Center. It was a normal Tuesday in the year 2257. Humans had built small colonies on Mars and the Moon, but they were still new to space travel. "Commander, something strange is happening," said Lieutenant Do-Hyun Kim. His eyes were wide as he pointed at the blinking red dot on his screen. Jiwoo walked over quickly. "What is it?" "A large object just entered our solar system. It's moving fast, coming from beyond Neptune." Jiwoo frowned. Their sensors weren't supposed to reach that far. "Are you sure the readings are correct?" "Yes, Commander, and it's bigger than anything we've ever built." The room grew quiet. In all of human history, they had never found proof of alien life. Until now. "Track its path," Jiwoo ordered, "and alert Earth Defense Command." Officers moved quickly around the room typing on keyboards and making calls. Jiwoo felt her heart beat faster. She had trained for this moment her whole life, but she never truly believed it would happen. The large ship continued moving toward Earth. Its speed was incredible. Nothing human-made could move so fast. "It will reach Earth in 3 days if it keeps this speed," Do-Hyun said. Suddenly the floor shook beneath them. Warning lights flashed red across the command center. "What's happening now?" Jiwoo grabbed the edge of a desk to keep her balance. "Commander, look at the moon," someone shouted. On the main screen they could see the moon's surface changing. Large pieces of the ground were moving, opening like doors. Giant metal structures began to rise from below the surface. "We're getting similar reports from Mars and Jupiter's moons," Do-Hyun said, his voice shaking. Jiwoo stared in disbelief. Humanity had never built such things. They didn't have the technology. More alerts sounded. The strange ship had stopped moving. Then, without warning, a beam of bright blue light shot from one of the moon structures. The alien ship exploded instantly. "The ship was destroyed," Do-Hyun whispered. "But we didn't do it." The screens in the command center flickered. Then a symbol appeared, Earth surrounded by 12 stars. A calm computer voice filled the room. "Threat eliminated. Defense grid now active." "What defense grid?" Jiwoo asked. No one answered. No one knew. Hours later, more structures appeared. They rose from oceans, deserts, and mountains across Earth. Some were small, like tall towers. Others were massive platforms that floated in the sky. World leaders called emergency meetings. People were scared. News reports showed the strange structures appearing everywhere. In Seoul, a large metal door opened in the ground near the Han River. Jiwoo and her team went to investigate. "Be careful," she told her soldiers as they approached the opening. It led to a long tunnel with smooth metal walls. The walls lit up as they walked deeper. They reached a large round room. In the center was a control panel with strange symbols. As Jiwoo moved closer, the panel lit up. A woman made of light appeared. Above it. "Hello, defenders of Earth," the light woman said. "I am Guardian, protector of humanity." "What are you?" Jiwoo asked. "Where did you come from?" "I was created by your ancestors 10,000 years ago. I have waited for this day." No one spoke for a long moment. "That's impossible," Jiwoo finally said. "Human civilization isn't that old." Guardian smiled. "You have forgotten your true history. Humans once traveled among the stars. You built great cities on many worlds." "Then why don't we remember?" asked Do-Hyun. "After the Great War with the hegemony, your ancestors chose to hide. They erased your history and created me to watch over Earth until the hegemony returned." Guardian waved her hand. The air filled with star maps and images of strange ships. "The ship I destroyed was a hegemony scout. They have found Earth again after all these years. A new map appeared, showing many red dots moving toward a blue dot. Earth. "The hegemony fleet approaches," Guardian said. "They will arrive in 17 days." Jiwoo felt cold fear in her stomach. "Can we stop them?" "That is why I exist," Guardian replied. "The defense grid was built to protect humanity, but it needs human commanders." Guardian looked directly at Jiwoo. "Commander Park, will you help me defend Earth?" Jiwoo stood straight and nodded. In just one day, everything had changed. Humans weren't alone in the universe. They had a history they didn't remember, and now they faced an enemy they didn't know, but they would fight. They would survive. "Yes," Jiwoo said. "Tell me what we need to do. Remember to use simple and basic English for this part. Focus on making it interesting while keeping the language accessible. This is part 2 of the story about humanity's defense grid awakening. Dr. Tai-Hyun Kang had not slept in 3 days. The ancient control room beneath Seoul had become his new home. He moved his fingers across the strange symbols on the control panel, trying to understand the technology. "Any progress?" Commander Jiwoo Park asked as she entered. She looked tired too. Dark circles showed under her eyes. "Yes and no," Taehyun said. "This technology is both simple and complex. It responds to touch and thought in ways we never imagined possible." Guardian's light form appeared between them. "Your ancestors built these systems to be easy for humans to use." Jiwoo still found it hard to believe. "How could we forget all of this? An entire history among the stars." Guardian waved her hand, and the walls of the room changed. They now showed images of Earth from long ago. Great cities with tall towers, flying ships, people dressed in clothes that looked both ancient and futuristic. 10,000 years ago, humans were part of the galactic community, Guardian explained. You had colonies on hundreds of worlds. The images changed to show a massive space battle. Ships exploded, planets burned. Then came the war with the hegemony. They wanted to rule all intelligent life in the galaxy. Humans fought back. Did we win? Taehyun asked. Neither side won, Guardian said. The war lasted for decades, billions died. Finally, the human leaders made a difficult choice. New images showed people leaving Earth in huge ships. Most humans left to hide in distant parts of the galaxy. Those who stayed agreed to start over. They destroyed all advanced technology and began again as simple farmers. But why? Jiwoo couldn't understand. Why forget everything? To protect the human race, Guardian said. The hegemony would never stop hunting humans as long as they remembered you. So your ancestors erased all. Proof of your advanced past. They built me in the defense grid, then hid us underground and on distant moons. We would sleep until needed. Taehyun shook his head in wonder. And we built all of this? Yes, Guardian said. Humans were once among the most respected builders and warriors in the galaxy. Over the next days, teams of scientists studied the ancient technology. They found more control rooms around the world. Each one controlled different parts of the defense grid. In the main command center, Jiwoo met with world leaders. They watched as Guardian showed them the approaching hegemony fleet. 16 ships, Guardian said, all heavily armed. Can we beat them? Asked President Hyejin-yoon. The defense grid was designed to protect Earth from much larger forces, Guardian answered. But we need humans to help control it. I thought you were in control, Jiwoo said. I am the system's mind but not its heart, Guardian explained. The grid was built to combine human judgment with machine speed. President Hyejin looked worried. We have only 14 days before they arrive. How can we learn to use such advanced technology so quickly? Before Guardian could answer, an alarm sounded. A new dot appeared on the star map. Another ship has entered the solar system, Do-hyun reported from his station. Everyone tensed. Is it hegemony? Jiwoo asked. No, Guardian said. This ship comes from the Galactic Council. They must have detected the grid's activation. The Galactic Council? President Hyejin asked. The alliance of spacefaring species that governs much of the galaxy, Guardian explained. Humans helped form it long ago. The new ship moved much faster than the hegemony fleet. It would reach Earth in just 2 days. What do they want? Jiwoo asked. To talk, I believe, Guardian said. The activation of the defense grid would be concerning to them. Why? Taehyun asked. Guardian's light form dimmed slightly. Because after the war, much of the technology in the grid was banned. Your ancestors built it anyway, then hid it here. President Hyejin stood up straighter. So we are breaking galactic laws. We didn't know existed. Yes, Guardian said simply. The grid contains weapons powerful enough to destroy stars. Such power is forbidden. Jiwoo felt a chill run through her body. And these council people are coming here to... What? Tell us to turn it off, while the hegemony fleet heads our way? I do not know their intentions, Guardian said. But I do. Know this. The grid will not deactivate while a threat approaches. It was programmed to protect humanity above all else. President Hyejin nodded firmly. Then we need to prepare. Commander Park, form a team to meet these council representatives. Dr. Kang, learn everything you can about this grid and our forgotten history. As the meeting ended, Jiwoo stayed behind with Guardian. There's something you're not telling us, she said quietly. Guardian's light form seemed to study her for a moment. Yes, Guardian finally admitted. The hegemony does not just want Earth. They want revenge for a defeat from long ago, and they want something hidden here, something your ancestors left behind that could change the balance of power in the galaxy forever. The Earth's largest space station had never seemed so small. Ambassador Minju Lee smoothed down her formal blue uniform and tried to look calm. In just a few hours she would meet beings from another world. "Are you ready?" Commander Jiwoo asked, joining her at the large window. Below them, Earth looked peaceful and blue. "No," Minju said honestly. "How can anyone be ready for this?" 2 days ago, she had been working on trade deals between Earth and the Mars colonies. Now she was Earth's first ambassador to alien life. The station's alarm sounded once, then twice. It was time. "They're here," Jiwoo said. They walked to the main docking area. 20 soldiers stood in neat lines, though their weapons were lowered. President Hyejin had been clear. This would be a peaceful meeting if possible. The large door slid open slowly. Minju held her breath. First came tall beings with skin that looked like crystal. Light seemed to move inside them. Next were shorter figures covered in blue fur. Then came beings that looked almost human, except for their golden eyes and 6 fingers on each hand. In total, 7 different types of aliens entered the station. The soldiers stayed still, but Minju could see the shock on their faces, a tall crystal being stepped forward. "I am Councillor Talon of the Galactic Council. We come in peace." Minju was surprised to hear perfect Korean. Then she noticed small devices on the aliens' necks, translators. "Welcome to Earth," she said, bowing slightly. "I am Ambassador Minju Lee." Talon's crystal face had no clear expression, but his voice sounded pleased. "The Council welcomes the return of humanity to galactic affairs." Another alien stepped forward. This one looked like water shaped into a human form. "Though we are concerned about the activation of prohibited weapon systems," it said. Minju led the aliens to the meeting room. There, Guardian waited as a light. "Form Guardian," Talon said, nodding to the AI. "It has been a long time." "You know each other?" Jiwoo asked in surprise. "I was created before the Exodus," Guardian explained. "Councillor Talon is over 4,000 years old." Minju tried not to show her shock. She turned to the aliens. "We had no knowledge of these defense systems until they activated themselves." "Yes," said Talon, "the great forgetting. Your ancestors' final solution to end the war. The water being, who had introduced itself as Councillor Vex, moved closer. But now the hegemony returns, and so does humanity's forbidden technology." President Hyejin joined them through a video screen. "Forbidden by whose laws?" she asked. "Laws we never agreed to because we didn't remember they existed." Talon's crystal body flashed with light. "Laws your ancestors helped write, human president, before they chose to hide their power and their history. The defense grid violates the Weapons Limitation Treaty," Vex added. "The power to destroy stars should not be in any one species' hands." Jiwoo stepped forward. "Yet the hegemony fleet approaches Earth right now. Should we just turn off our defenses and let them destroy us?" A smaller alien with 4 arms spoke up. "The hegemony will not simply destroy you. They want what is hidden here." The room grew quiet. "And what is that?" President Hyejin asked. Talon and the other council members looked at each other. "We do not know," Talon finally said. "But the hegemony has searched for it for 10,000 years. They believe humans hide a weapon or knowledge that could give them control of the galaxy." Guardian's light form grew brighter. "I was not programmed with this information. My purpose is only to defend Earth." "There is something else you should know," said Vex. "Your people were not always called humans in the galactic language. You were known as the Shapers, those who could change worlds and stars with your technology." Minju felt goosebumps on her arms. "Are you saying that humans were powerful enough to threaten the entire galaxy?" "Yes," Talon said simply. "That is why many species still fear your return." Before anyone could respond, Lieutenant Do-hyun rushed into the room. "Commander, The hegemony fleet has suddenly increased speed. They will arrive in just 6 hours. The Council aliens showed clear signs of alarm, even through their different bodies. So soon. Taln's crystal form dimmed. We expected days, not hours. They must have detected our ship, said the four-armed alien. They know the Council is here. Jiwoo turned to Guardian. Is the defense grid ready? Yes, Guardian replied. But full activation requires human commanders at key points around the world. President Hyejin's face on the screen looked determined. Then we will be ready. Ambassador, Lee continued discussions with the Council. Commander Park, prepare our defenses. As the meeting broke up, Minju found herself alone with Councillor Taln. There is something I must ask, she said. If humans were so powerful, why did we choose to forget? Why not just defeat the hegemony? Taln's crystal face turned toward Earth, visible through the window. Because, Ambassador, he said quietly, the weapons that could defeat the hegemony would also destroy much of the galaxy. Your ancestors chose forgetting over becoming destroyers of worlds. It was the most noble choice any species has ever made. Minju looked at her home planet, beautiful and blue. In just hours, it would face its first space battle in 10,000 years. Let's hope we don't have to make that choice again, she said. The hegemony ships entered Earth's solar system in perfect attack formation. 6 large warships surrounded an even bigger command ship. 9 smaller, faster ships flew ahead as scouts. On every screen in Earth's Defense Command Center, the alien fleet looked like a wall of metal moving toward them. They're sending a message, Lieutenant Do-hyun said. His fingers moved quickly over the control panel. A face appeared on the main screen. The alien had gray skin with small ridges on its forehead. Its eyes were large and completely black. People of Earth, the alien said in a deep voice. I am Admiral Corvus of the Hegemony Fleet. You have activated illegal weapons systems. Surrender now or face destruction. President Hyejin stood tall before the camera. Her voice was calm but firm. This is President Hyejin Yoon of Earth. We have activated our defenses only after your scout entered our system. We have committed no crime. Admiral Corvus made a sound like a laugh. You have no rights here, primitive world. The Shaper's technology belongs to us now. You have 1 hour to deactivate your grid and prepare for our arrival. The screen went black. Prepare all defense stations, Jiwoo ordered. Around the room, officers rushed to follow her command. Councillor Taln and the other alien representatives watched from the side of the room. Can your defense grid truly stop them? Taln asked. We will find out soon, Jiwoo replied. Guardians. Light form appeared beside them. Commander Park, you must take your position at the main control hub. All defense stations report ready. Jiwoo nodded and followed Guardian to a special room in the center of the command base. Inside was a chair surrounded by floating screens and control panels. This is the commander's interface, Guardian explained. From here, you can control the entire grid. Jiwoo sat in the chair. Immediately, she could see everything, every weapon in the system, every hegemony ship, even the smallest details of their movement. This is amazing, she whispered. The interface connects directly to your mind, Guardian said. Think of what you want to see, and you will see it. The hour passed quickly. The hegemony fleet moved closer. Then, exactly 1 hour after their message, they attacked. The first shots came from the scout ships. Energy beams headed straight for Earth's atmosphere. Jiwoo didn't even need to think. The defense grid responded instantly to the threat. Huge shields of blue energy appeared around Earth, the Moon, and all human colonies. The hegemony weapons hit the shields and disappeared. Shields holding at full strength, Do-hyun reported. No damage. The hegemony ships fired again, this time with more power. Again the shields held. They're testing our defenses, Guardian said. Jiwoo watched through the interface as the hegemony fleet spread out. They were preparing for a bigger attack. We can't just defend, she said. We need to show them we can fight back. Through the interface, she activated the weapons platforms hidden on Mars and Jupiter's moons. Energy began to build in the ancient weapons. The hegemony must have detected this. Suddenly, all 16 ships fired at once. The shields around Earth flashed brightly but held. Now, Jiwoo commanded. Beams of golden light shot from the defense grid's weapons. 3 hegemony scout ships exploded instantly. 2 more spun out of control, badly damaged. In the command center, people cheered, but the hegemony quickly changed. Their plan. Their remaining ships gathered close to the command ship. A new, more powerful weapon began to charge. "They're preparing an ion cannon," Guardian warned. "It could break through our shields." Jiwoo's mind raced through the interface, searching for a solution. She found it in a weapons system hidden inside Earth's moon. "Activating lunar defense array," she said. Deep inside the moon, ancient machinery came to life. The surface of the moon seemed to shift as a massive cannon rose from its dark side. The hegemony fired their ion cannon. The blast hit Earth's shields, making them flicker and weaken. "Shields at 60%, Do-hyun called out. "Second hit will break through." "Not if we hit them first," Jiwoo said. The lunar cannon fired. A beam of pure white energy cut through space. It hit the hegemony command ship directly. For a moment, nothing happened. Then the huge ship cracked in half and exploded in a ball of fire. The remaining hegemony ships stopped firing. They seemed frozen in space. "They've lost their commander," Guardian said. "And they never expected such power from us." Jiwoo sent a message to the hegemony ships. "Leave our system now, or we will destroy you all." For a long moment, no one moved. Then, one by one, the hegemony ships turned away. They all accelerated quickly and disappeared into deep space. In the command center, people hugged each other and cried with relief. Earth had won its first space battle in 10,000 years. Counselor Taln approached Jiwoo as she left the interface room. "You fought well," the crystal being said, "but this is only the beginning. The hegemony will return with a larger fleet." Jiwoo nodded. She was tired but proud. "Then we will be ready," she said. "Earth remembers how to fight now. I'll write a 800-word story for Part 5, reclaiming the stars in third person, using simple and basic English without headings. I'll write a short story about reclaiming the stars, using simple language in third-person perspective. Reclaiming the E. Stars Maya watched the metal birds fly into the night sky. 10 years after the Great Collapse, humans were finally heading back to space. "It's time," said Commander Chen, standing beside her on the hill. "We can't hide down here forever." Maya nodded. The Earth had grown too hot, too crowded, and too dangerous. The storms that had destroyed the old space stations were gone now. It was time to try again. Long ago, humans had built homes among the stars. They had cities on the Moon and Mars. But when the sunstorms came, they lost everything. Many died. The rest came back to Earth, which was already struggling. "My grandfather told me stories about the Mars colony," Maya said. "He said the air smelled like metal and cinnamon." Commander Chen smiled. "Maybe we'll smell it ourselves soon." Below them, the launch site buzzed with activity. 3 ships waited on the pads: Hope, Courage, and Discovery. They weren't fancy like the old ships. They were built from leftover parts and new materials created from ocean plastic. But they would fly. "Are you scared?" Commander Chen asked. Maya touched the star-shaped pendant at her neck. "Yes, but more scared of staying. Earth was dying. The seas rose higher each year. Food grew scarce. Nations fought over the remaining good land. Going to space wasn't just about adventure anymore. It was about survival." The next morning, Maya boarded the Hope with 50 other pioneers. Her job was to grow food in space using special seeds developed to grow in low gravity. Her brother Kai was on the Courage, going to repair the old moon. Base. Their mother waved goodbye from the crowd. The countdown began. Maya closed her eyes as the engines roared. The ship shook violently, then lurched upward. For 3 terrible minutes she felt crushed by the force. Then suddenly, everything was quiet and light. "Look," whispered her seatmate Dr. Patel, pointing to the window. Earth spread below them, blue and white and beautiful. Maya had only seen it in pictures. It looked so peaceful from here, hiding all its troubles. "First stop, the old orbital station," announced Captain Rivera. "We'll see what can be salvaged." The station had been abandoned for a decade. When they docked, Maya and the repair team entered carefully. Dust floated in the beam of their flashlights. Plants had taken over one section, growing wild in the filtered sunlight. "Life finds a way," Dr. Patel said, collecting samples. Over the next few weeks, they brought the station back to life. Lights flickered on. Water began flowing through cleaned pipes. The greenhouse expanded with Maya's seedlings. Messages came from the moon, where Kai's team had restored the old habitat domes. 3 months later, more ships arrived from Earth with more people. They brought news of worsening conditions below. The missions were no longer experiments. They were becoming permanent homes. One night, Maya floated in the observation bubble, watching stars that seemed close enough to touch. Dr. Patel joined her, his dark eyes reflecting the lights of distant worlds. "The old space pioneers wanted adventure," he said. "We just want a place to live." Maya disagreed. "We want both. That's what makes us human." A year passed. The station grew as modules were added. A small city formed on the moon. Mars preparations began. Children were born in space, the first of a new generation who would never know Earth as home. On the anniversary of the launch, Maya stood with Commander Chen in the new Garden Dome. Plants from Earth grew alongside strange new hybrids adapted for space. Through the clear ceiling, they could see their old planet. "We didn't just reclaim the stars," Maya said softly. "We found ourselves again." Commander Chen nodded. "And this is just the beginning." In the darkness beyond, countless stars waited. Humanity had taken its first steps back into the vastness. They carried with them Earth's legacy, its beauty and its mistakes. This time, they would try to do better.